Nick Richards.
And how about my boy Triple H getting that double claw
on his head
from the Punjabi Giant?
Probably one of the most prolific and recognized Walter students of all time.
And he's used to getting the claw on him because Kowalski had put the claw on all his students. So I know the great Khali, the Punjabi Giant, 7'4", has those big massive hands. Kowalski is the originator of that. I remember when Kowalski put the claw on myself. I remember when Kowalski hit me in the back with a chair. I mean, how was you going to learn how to give those chair shots unless you take it?
That's true.
The legend, Walter Killer Kowalski.
He hit me outside the ring, and all I was doing was taking a picture with a chair. Like, what did I do? Just take it.
I mean, I have a couple of T-shirts. I have this one T-shirt that...
which I'm trying to get a hold of someone who has extra ones.
But, it was like Kowalski gave all of these to his students. He gave it. He didn't sell them. He gave it. But we only got one. So I can't give you mine. We only got one.
Yes, and I'm going to find my own. I will find someone who has extras. Maybe I can ask Teresa next time I see her.
That's going to be your only hope, brother, because we all just got one.
I know. He didn't give out too many.
And you know what? None of us would have dared taken it. But do we have another? Well, we have a couple more clips that I would like to get into.
Yes, we do. Why don't we go to that next clip before we go anywhere? Let's go into the next clip of Walter, and we'll come back and talk about it. It's only about a minute long. So, all right, whenever you're ready, kick it.
Against the Barbarian Quest.
Yes, the Barbarian, with his manager, Johnny Rodeo. He's been on here, actually. He's turned the leaf.
Now, have you noticed the Barbarian just threw Walter and just put Walter in front, used Walter as a human shield, and the Superfly knocked over Walter. So Walter calls for the bell, and look at the Barbarian. He knows not to mess with Walter.
And Walter with them big stone hands.
And this is the kangaroo hop.
93, he's 80, he's 66 years old, hopping around like that.
I gotta tell you, Quest, Walter tried to get me to do that kangaroo hop. He tried to get Terrorizer, a.k.a. Triple H, to do that kangaroo hop. He tried to get Perry Saturn. We didn't even bring up Perry Saturn. How do you bring up Walter School without bringing up Perry Saturn?
We can bring up China.
He tried to get Perry Saturn to do that hop. He tried to get China to do that hop. He tried to get Antoine Rouard, who back then was known as Tony Roy, to do that hop. He tried to get Terrible Tim McNeely, later known as the Graduate, Gorgeous Chris Duffy. He tried to get everybody he could. The Giant Ron Reese, the Bulldozer, all those names.
I couldn't see the Bulldozer doing
all those names. If the Bulldozer did, it would have been an earthquake.
Yeah,
none of us,
510
none of us, Quest, ever wanted to do that kangaroo hop.
No.
None of us did.
No, he couldn't. I would love to get in touch with Bulldozer just to see what he's up to. I don't think he's wrestling anymore. He's bigger than the Giant.
I have to tell you, Quest, I was there Monday, and things didn't look good. When I was there Monday at the hospital, Wood Memorial Hospital in Everett, free parking, by the way, and everyone wants to go. When I was there, Walter was laying in the bed, okay? He had the tubes in him, breathing assistance in him. And
I heard they didn't really need that. They were just keeping it as a precaution.
Well, that's part of the stuff what I heard Saturday.
Yes.
But like I said, I heard something Saturday that said one thing. A different promoter went there Sunday and said something else, so I said, I'm going there Monday. And Quest, when I tell you things, I always spit the truth. We don't see eye to eye, but I'm not going to lie to you.
That's true.
Might lie to others, but I ain't going to lie to you.
That's true.
And when I went there, as I wanted to finish the story, as I went there, he was laying in the bed. He had the tubes in his mouth. He was sleeping, okay? I was there for an hour talking to the missus. The missus was very upset because they had got interviewed. It was in the newspaper a couple of weeks earlier about him being in the old age, the old age home or the nursing home. Him being in the nursing home, and basically he got in the nursing home because he couldn't walk. It was bone on bone, Quest, and that's why he couldn't walk. Now this is a man who's 6'7" tall, okay, and bone on bone. This is a guy who headlined wrestling shows throughout this planet, Quest. You know this.
There's 3 different characters.
The missus bought him a walker, but you know how Walter is a proud man.
Stubborn.
And stubborn, and he's not even a tourist. Just did not use the walker, okay? But I was there for an hour, and she's reading stuff that was written on the internet, stuff that these authors taking liberties to write that she was very upset about. She, certain things that were the truth, that was secrets that was written that I didn't even know. She confirmed that they were the truth. So I don't know how they found out, but I'm like, we didn't even know this as Kowalski students. And then there was something that was just misinformation and it wasn't accurate. So she was telling Walter, as Walter was laying there sleeping, she says, Walter, I want you to hurry up and wake up and get out of here because there's a few people I want you to beat up. And these are these people. All this thing I'm spitting at your quest, this is all the truth. This is what happened Monday. Towards the end of my visit, the doctor came in, was checking out Walter. Walter did open his eyes. Mm-hmm. He was moving his mouth, moving his lips as if he was trying to form some words. I don't know if he was truly with us and trying to form words or if this was just some type of nervous system reaction. Yes. I honestly don't know. But I stood up, I told Walter that I was there, I told Walter I loved him, and he's going to come back from this. There's no doubt mine he's going to come back for this. Once again, you guys out there, send your prayers to Walter Killer Kowalski, because if there's someone who is deserving of it, it certainly is him.
Yeah, if you're out there and you have a Yahoo account, you have a MySpace account, you have a Facebook account, just go on there, post a bulletin, to Walter Kowalski, write a little something, you're in our hearts. If you didn't know the man, you might know of the man. I mean, some of us can say, yeah, we know him. We've known him for many years. We have memories. But other people, all you got to do is look up the archives, look up the history, look up, Walter Kowalski's name, look up the executioner, look up, like, other names that he's been under.
Tarzan Kowalski.
Tarzan Kowalski was his very first character. You can check that out. I mean, just
And he was a good guy. He started his career. He was a good guy.
Yeah. So were you. When you started.
Well, funny story. When I walked up those stairs, Quest, and you know the story, I walked up those stairs. I had all intentions of being a referee or a manager, figuring everybody was 6'5", 6'6", 250, 300 pounds. I walked up the stairs. The first three people I saw, I was bigger than. I said, to myself, I could throw you, I could throw you.
Change the camera shot at least while he's talking?
I could definitely throw you. So I went to Walter and I said, how do I sign up for this? So he told me what the tuition was, and I got the tuition. So I went up there Tuesday. That Wednesday, I went and I got a cash advance on a credit card. Thursday, I went and I gave him the cash. He didn't count it. I said, aren't you going to count it? He said, I know it's all there. And I know we're running out of time, but I just want to get this in, that as I was training, 2 months later, I was ready for a show, okay? Some people take 2 months, some people take their entire life before they're ready for a show. I was ready for a show because I went there every day, and I kept my mouth shut, my ears open, and I listened. And I remember when I was first coming out, I told Walter, I said, Walter, I want to be a bad guy, and I want to wear a mask. And he says, you're going to be a good guy, and you're not going to wear a mask. And then I said, well, then I want to paint my face. And he says, you're not going to paint your face. And then I said, don't, because Walter had spoken.
Yes.
So for my first 5 years, as you know, because you were part of Smooth Patrol, going up and down, hip-hop, hooray, ho, the best good guy ever in the independent scene.
I remember the old
Okay, but we have a couple of more clips that we want to go.
Walter, and you kayfabe me on your joining of the school, too. So, Walter, if you wouldn't mind, just please... Walter, I'm sorry. R.A., see, Walter's in my head all day. All right, if you wouldn't mind, just play that next clip.
Then we're going to listen to this.
Yes.
Truly a legend in the great sport of professional wrestling. This is Killer Kowalski. You're not supposed to be here, Mr. Rumble. This is honoring Killer Kowalski. It's not about the brotherhood. Give me this microphone, you halfwit. Hey, I wish you would. Now listen to this. Hey, just shut up. I gave you idiots about 30 minutes, way too long. Now, for the last 2 to 3 weeks, I've traveled up and down every idiot highway in New England, every bootleg radio show, from Eddie Endelman to that idiot over there, Jeff Katz on RKO, to pay tribute to you. Okay? I could live with that. I could understand that you are the legend. Shut up! Shut up when I'm talking. I can understand that you are the living legend and you deserve to be having a tribute. But enough's enough. I had it up to here. Now, I'm going to tell you and the rest of you half-wits, I'm going to count to 10. And when I count to 10, if you're still here, I'm going to kick your ass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A man who has been retired for 20 years, putting down the leader of the Brotherhood, Killer Kowalski.
Tony Rumble, I don't know who you think you are, but let me tell you what I think you are. You are nothing.
Nothing.
A 71 years young man saying you're nothing.
You are nothing. I remember that well.
On his back.
That was in the Good Time Emporium, okay? Honoring Walter Killer Kowalski.
Which is no longer there, but Walter
is no longer there. Had various students at the time around him, and the Brotherhood. I was a part of the Brotherhood.
Yes, you were.
And I was